Hi guys, Ruben here, CreasXgfi. Another week, another shoot. How many was this? Number 7? Number 6?
Seven. I think
We're at
7.
Number 7.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky 7. Love it. And we're happy to say I think we have 660 subscribers and growing. Thank you everybody for subscribing. Not too many messages. We'd love to encourage you to message us. But today's subject is going to be on I don't want to call it the struggles, but preparing to get your real estate license, right? Along the way, you have to study, and if you have different things that you're doing, sometimes you might just struggle getting the test done, right? Because some of us have failed on the first try, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Again, Ruben here.
Yvonne.
Hector.
Ralphie.
Kirsten. Lex.
And Jackie's not here because she's in the Bahamas, but we'll be covering Jackie.
We miss you, Jax.
Enjoy. We'll start with Hector. Your experience getting. I remember you're like, "Hey, I want to get into real estate," which surprised me because not everybody that has family in real estate gets into real estate. And when you said, "Hey, I want to get into real estate," you know, obviously you saw Yvonne, talked to Monica, myself, and we pointed you in the right direction, but you actually took the direction, right?
Right.
And so with that being said, you can share with everyone the start and obviously when you finally got your license, the story.
I think for the beginning was finding the right program that fit what I was looking for, especially that I was going to school at the time, which I still do. It was perfect to find a program that was strictly online because I know there's schools you can go to during the day. And the program I actually signed up for was Real Estate Express. And I recommend them 100% because they're very good with the videos and the lectures and everything. So I went through the whole program. You have to get your
the certificate?
The certificate, there you go, to be eligible to schedule for your test. And then once you do that, you make an appointment. And then all of us, once you get an appointment day, you just got to study. Unfortunately, I didn't pass on my first time, but that's on my fault. I always say that it's my fault because I didn't study hard. And I slacked off thinking I could pass the first try, but I didn't. But I feel like it's a good thing because it's a learning experience. 1, you see what's on the test. And then 2, you could go back, reflect on what you did wrong, and then find out different resources, and then just go take it. And I passed it second time.
How many classes do you have to take before you get your real estate class?
I think so it's different on each program, but I believe it was 3.
3?
Yeah.
When I started, we only had to take 1. And then we had a professional license for 18 months. And then afterwards, we had to take the 2 additional courses to get the 4-year license.
When I started, the licenses were carved in stone. Mine, it was 1 book. It was, okay, guys, get ready. Put your stuff in the locker, paper, pencil, and then all that has changed now. Everything is now
principles of real estate. You got law of real estate.
And you took the exam on a computer. I'm like, dude, that is so not right. I mean, how nice does it feel to take your test from either in front of a computer or now I hear you can take a test from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
Right? Or in your office, which is something that you guys all did when you went for the NMLS, right?
Which I would not recommend.
No, I would not recommend. I don't. If you could just drive down to the test center,
don't.
I would just drive down to the test center.
Why, Ralphie? Why are you saying this? You recommend Ralphie share with
I was so
confident. I woke up, I slept good that day. I was on question 90 out of 120, and literally on question 90, it just stops. Connection errors.
No way.
So they didn't let me retake it anymore. And then from there, the person told me, like, yeah, you can continue it from where you left off. So I tried. And then after they were like, oh, no, you have to retake it and schedule it for another day.
Yeah.
And then my concern was like, is it going to count as 1? Because you only get 3 tries.
Oh, that's right. 3 tries, and then it's a 6-month wait.
Yeah.
Right? That's for the NMLS, right?
Yeah, the NMLS.
I know you were saying it, both Hector yourself, Jack, were saying, man, they make sure you don't have anything in the office, everything's cleared out.
They make you take your pockets out.
You gotta
really,
show your arms, your back. I think you had to show the back of his ear.
I had to show because I have tattoos. I had to show the back of my ears.
Yeah, I thought you had the answer on the back of your ear. Right?
That's what they thought too. That's what they thought too. But you have to check under your chair, under your mouse, under the desk, around the room. The corners of the roofs, it's just a whole
you couldn't even have a parrot that gives you the answer?
Literally, nothing. If you move your eyes like off the screen for like a couple of seconds, they even message you like, put your eyes back on the screen.
No way.
Yeah.
I was reading my question out loud too sometimes because I was so excited that I knew the answer. So I'll start reading them out loud and I'll kind of like smile. I'll do my little jump. And then from there, like they message me like, hey, stop moving.
thought you were getting the answer.
Yeah.
That is an experience. I know, Ralphie, when you got your real estate license, same thing, right? You got into real estate. You said, I'm going to get into real estate. Give us a little story.
I started for fun here and there, and then actually I started getting into it when I started coming here.
What was fun about it?
I think it was just learning something new that was in the back of my head that I always wanted to do. Numbers, law, contracts. I found it interesting. So I was like, that's
definitely.
interesting. And then when I started coming here, you started teaching me more and more.
It's crazy.
And then
right? It's crazy how you see things differently. Right?
And then once I started mentoring with you, I started putting one and one together because I was learning online.
Yeah.
So I knew what escrow was. I knew the definitions for a lot of stuff. Honestly, if you're studying for your real estate exam, I would recommend Prep Agent. He has a 200 vocab word video. And if you memorize all those 200 vocabs, your exam would be really easy. It would facilitate stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once coming here, I was able to put one and one together. And I was like, oh, this is what escrow is. Or this is, yeah, like it just made so much sense.
So it's crazy because here in the West Coast, the majority of the states, at least the ones that are off the coast, use escrows, and in the East they use the East Coast and the Midwest they use attorneys, right?
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of
sometimes it's escrow and title in one.
yeah, it can be both wrapped into one. So when it comes to the abbreviations, LTVs,
Yeah, it sounded like a whole bunch of French. I was just
Hey, I have a story.
Français.
He was
Exactly.
like, when me and Kirsten lived in San Diego, he was like, you need to start studying more because he couldn't see like what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. And he's like, you need to start studying more because, you know, Jackie here, she even knows what LTV is. And I'm like, LTV. And so I'm like, okay, like, what is he trying to say? And then when I came, he's like, Jackie, tell her what LTV is. And then he was like, she's like, oh, it's loan to value, it's this and that.
That's amazing on your real estate exam.
yeah,
It is a little.
You know what? A lot of it is not on your real estate exam. A lot of the stuff you see on your real estate exam is not even put into practice
It's not.
in real
Yeah.
life. I call it real life.
Oh, for those of you studying, there's no math section in California.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's no
no,
Yeah,
math
they
section.
took out the math portion.
So when I took my NMLS, they had the state and federal. Now I hear they only do the state.
Stay, yeah.
Like, what the heck? They made it.
Oh, imagine going twice.
Lucky for me, I passed.
Yeah.
And when I failed the first time was my broker. And why? Because I failed to prepare. I was just working. I was like, I got this. I've been doing real estate forever. I got this. I pulled a Hector. I got this.
Yeah,
right?
don't pull a Hector.
and
Seriously.
then I go and take the exam. Epic fail, dude. And it didn't help that an attorney in the restroom was telling me, oh, I took it 4 times. I passed the bar on the first. But I've been on my 4th one on the brokers. And inside my soul, everything dropped. Like my heart was, I was stepping on my heart. And I was like, Jesus. But you know what? I knew what I had to do. And I made the appointment 2 weeks out. I studied, closed the door, and bam.
Should we tell them the funny story about
Fast.
you in the elevator?
Oh, yeah. So I was so damn nervous. There was like 8 individuals that were going to test. And I was going down to the 2nd floor with them. And instead of saying 8 brokers going up, it was actually 9
Because he was
brokers
trying
going
to
up.
already manifest that they passed.
They passed, yeah. So I said 9 brokers going up.
Brokers.
To the people?
Brokers instead of brokers. I was like, oh, shoot. Inside me, I was like, fucking brokers. I was like, no.
He said it to the people.
Yeah, to the people.
They're probably like, he can't even say broker. Broker exam.
But hey, you know what? I manifested. I don't know if all the other 8 of them got it, but
Yeah.
I know I did. So.
That's
But anyways, so, Kate,
Yes.
same with you. When you got started and what you had to do to get there.
Well, I really started studying, I want to say like 3 months before the test. And I don't know, at first it was all French and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be hard. So then I was like, okay, I'll learn vocab. And Ralphie suggested and Hector suggested the Prep Agent YouTube videos. So those really helped. I would recommend those. And once you start getting the vocab down, everything kind of makes sense. Because even like you referred to earlier, with the loan to value, even hearing what that meant, I was still like, how does this even apply? And so like now everything is just coming together because the vocab. And then so yeah, I go into we actually took the test at a bank. And so I went up to the bank and oh my gosh, I was just like shaking. I was so nervous. I get test anxiety, always have. And that one was just so bad because I was like, oh no, I'm not prepared. And they tell you when you pass, you get it on a piece of paper and you can't even open it until you leave the building.
And you can't talk to anyone.
And yeah, I
You
can't
can't
talk to anyone. And I was sitting in the car with Alexis and I was like, I don't even want to open it. I feel like I'm going to puke.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was just a lot, but it was worth it because I ended up passing.
I actually puked when I passed my NML. I was having an anxiety
You were actually on the
attack.
phone with me.
Yeah.
Yes, I was
So,
dying. I couldn't breathe. I get
How?
my anxiety gets so severe that I just can't breathe.
Yeah.
And I was in the parking lot. I usually carry halls with me because of the fact that that kind of relieves my tension from my throat. And I couldn't breathe. And he's like, everything is okay. I was panicking. I was like, I couldn't say,
Call 911.
no, I'm okay. I just passed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know what? The thing is that the airways open up when it comes to the halls, right? It's just like all of a sudden you can breathe better. You can, it opens up your airways. And I do Listerine tabs, right? I don't really get anxiety like that. And I was just telling Yvonne earlier too, I am shy. And she's like, no, you're not shy. Yes, I am shy. But the difference is I don't give an S. I don't give a shit, right? I do it. There's one thing, I am shy, but I'm not afraid. And I'll do what I have to do when I'm put on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, anyways, going now to Alexis.
Trials
Tell
and
us your
tribulations.
Okay, so it happened when I lived in San Diego because when I moved with Kirsten, that's when I kind of stopped playing softball. And when I was going to school, I was focusing on like biomed. And then you were texting me like, I need someone to take over the brokerage eventually when I retire. Like me and Yvonne eventually are going to retire. And I was just like, okay, like it really got me thinking. And so then I was thinking about like what I really wanted to do and like the lifestyle that I want for myself and for like, not just myself, but like the kids, which are my siblings.
Right.
And to take care of them, things like that. So then that's when I was like, okay, I think I want to try real estate and see how it turns out. And then you would tell me every day, like, are you studying? But I'm not going to lie, I wasn't because I wasn't sure. And I was like, do I want to go to school? Do I want to study? And I didn't want to like do two things at once and then just like contradict myself. So I was like really still thinking everything through before I actually started. Right. And then you would call me every day and be like, have you studied? You and Kay need to study like 8 hours a day. And we're like, oh yeah. And it was like realistically like 30 minutes. And then we'd look at it and we didn't understand. So like it was like, oh my God, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
But then eventually I was like, okay, Kirsten, we really need to do this. We really need to do this because we wanted to move back to LA. And when we moved back here, we knew we wanted to start like the entire real estate.
Yeah.
And so we started studying like actually a lot more. And then
we would study at Panera for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Was that in the state of San Diego?
In the state.
Oh yeah, because
the previous podcast.
No, but yeah, studying with other people, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
So it's good that you guys had each other, and then I had Rafa and Jackie, and we would go to the coffee shop in Cerritos, right?
Just
like
test
every
each
night,
other.
yeah.
Whatever one person didn't understand, the other one did.
And we use CompuTrainer because of the questions on there are a lot like the test.
Yeah.
I would say definitely that's probably like 80% why I passed. The other 20% is like because of vocab, but
It uses
it's knowing
learning.
knowing how to read the questions is what's gonna help you and understand them.
And they have vocab on there too. So that helps. Yeah. They have pretty much everything.
They have six test versions. On there, each one is 150.
That's the program we use. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so retrainers.com.
Is that props?
Props to them, yeah. You guys want to sponsor us? Shout out to Prep Agent, Joe from Prep Agent also.
Oh, yeah. Joe makes vocabulary so simple.
Shout out to CreasXgfi.
Yeah. If you ever see this, show some love.
So that's cool. We all have this history. Mine was by accident. I guess I mentioned in a previous podcast. I don't do sales, but I do counseling. So it worked out for me. I was thinking like, what the heck am I getting out of this? But the satisfaction is in making a house into a home, making a family get even closer together by giving them a property. I mean, how many times do you get to ride along with the client while they're in escrow? Never, right? And they're probably driving by the house 4 to 5 times before you close the escrow, maybe even more, together, smiling, happy, excited, anticipating them moving in. And so for me, that makes a world of a difference. And I get paid in the process. We make good money. I didn't want to stop at just the real estate license. I got my NMLS because I've always been numbers. You know, if you like to show properties, you like to show homes, go out there. Hey, by all means, go for it. I can do both because I'm a broker and MLS. But I actually like the numbers. I like to be the person that says I lent them $700,000, especially in California, right? Houses are way up there.
Yep.
So it's nice to say I cut them a check for $700,000 in a sense. That's how I see it. But it's been a great journey, 21 years and going. But like Alexis said, eventually I want to retire. As that, you know. So Miss Yvonne.
So I didn't like real estate. I had a different perspective of real estate. I was in the medical field, and my mom, as soon as I turned 18, took me to her brokers so I can get my real estate license. And she kept telling me, pushing me, and not until 2005 when I listened to her.
Yeah, that's where you met Bob Archuleta, right?
Yeah.
Senator.
Yes.
Bob Archuleta.
And I went and I sat down with the broker, spoke to him. He's like, "Are you going to come to the office?" I was like, "Yes," but that didn't work out. Then my uncle's also a broker, and he tried until finally I was taking some college classes. So I only took before, like I had mentioned before, we only had to take one course, and my uncle used to teach. So I took the course with him, and I got my real estate license, but I didn't practice until 2012. And when I took the test, the CompuTrainer really helped because I only studied for 4 days because it was a complete different field. And I wasn't interested in it. I was just getting the license. And so I would study the CompuTrainer after work for like 4 hours. And then I went and took the test and I passed.
On your first one?
No, I failed my first one. And I rescheduled a few after. Because I didn't,
Ouch.
I wouldn't study. I wasn't interested in real estate.
So what do you think helped you pass?
The CompuTrainer.
CompuTrainer?
Yeah, because then I was like, damn.
And then obviously like putting your main focus on it too, right?
Yeah, and then I had to pay for every single course, and then I would cancel it. So I started adding up, and then my test was like the following week. So I was like, okay, fine. So I went home and I studied.
Yeah.
And I took it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I would study the exam. So I would finish one, start the next one, and I wouldn't go to the next one until I got 80% or better or higher.
That's good.
And then I would take the next exam. And then I took it, and it was easier because the practice of taking the exam is what helped. You need to, it's not so much the material, it's also knowing how to take a test.
Yeah.
Like putting yourself in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but
The anxiety.
I didn't think about getting into real estate. I wasn't like you guys are like, oh, I was looking into getting into real estate, right? Accident. And I think she just said she hesitated to get into real estate too. And that's funny.
That's crazy. Both of you guys are brokers.
Yeah,
broker
we're like
owners
all
now.
passionate, all into it now.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, but we didn't want to do it in the beginning. Sometimes things like that happen in life, right? Like, oh, I don't want to go and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And you end up having a great time or meeting a good person. And we always look at good things the bad way. It's like, I mean, like if you're going to a wedding, it's like if you're going to a funeral, someone else is like, I don't want to go and I don't this and that. But if you're going to the funeral, you're like, damn. I think you're more willing, a lot of people are more willing to go to a funeral than they are to the weddings, which is kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
But,
That's true.
But it's true. Yeah, they're like, oh, where to the funeral? Well, obviously it's going to be something black. But the wedding's like, oh, God, and after this and after that. So, I don't know. Hex, you didn't hesitate to get into real estate, right?
Somewhat, yeah, because I graduated 2018, went to college for 2 years, switched colleges, switched majors, and then it wasn't until last year where I was like, okay, maybe I should try to get into it.
So it took a minute to set.
Yeah.
Ralph?
So about 2 years.
Yeah, it took me. I was hesitating a lot. I was.
Okay, same.
Yeah, it took me knowing like the right people to really get pushed in that direction.
And Lex, same thing. But you guys are all young. I got into real estate at 27. At 27. By the time I was 31, I bought into a company. I made a mistake, bought a Lambo, bought a Bentley. Ouch. I subleased it because the market crashed. One mistake a lot of us make as agents, remember the market will tank every 10 to 13 years. Okay. If not fully tank, it'll partially tank, but it'll hurt. Right. And so if you save your money, stack your chips for a market like that, not only can you make more money because you're buying properties that are in foreclosure, right? And unfortunately for the homeowner, it's not a good thing, but fortunately for us, we're buying these properties dirt cheap, turning around and making a profit. That's when the rich get richer, right? In a bad economy. But if you guys learn to save your money, because you do make a lot of money in real estate. And as you guys know, and maybe the listeners don't know, we have multiple programs. We're a full service real estate company. We don't just do real estate. We don't just do regular loans, conventional FHA loans. We do hard money loans. We do credit restoration. We save homes from going into foreclosure. We lend money, take them out of foreclosure. We do, I mean, how many programs do we have? Like 20, 25
We have
programs?
various programs, VAs, also alternative financing for those self-employed borrowers that don't report the full amount or have a lot of deductions. There's ways and programs out there that we can help them get qualified. USDA as well.
We do loans all day, the golden feather way. You know what I mean?
That was a good one.
So with that said, I know we wanted to talk to everybody about real estate and getting your license, the pros and the cons, right? And obviously, a lot of people say, what are the cons, right? And the cons are, I have to get my own leads. I have to cold call. We paid, I don't know how many marketing companies.
Yeah, you have to pay a lot to market yourself.
Well,
How many
if-
marketing companies, how much money have we spent in marketing and see that
A
nothing
lot.
comes out of it?
So
Trial and
you
error.
you have to think about it when you go to a good restaurant. You're always bragging about it, and they're not paying you to market, and you're already marketing. So you have to market for yourself and do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because you're advertising other
Mhm.
restaurants
Mhm.
or movies or anything and any other places. Instead, do it for yourself. Market yourself. That's the best way to
And
do
also, like, marketing is expensive, but if you were to get one deal, it repays itself
Yeah.
and
It
more.
does.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ways to market yourself for free too, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it. Family members,
Sphere
friends.
of influence, cold calls,
Make some nice
Make
flyers.
those flyers
make
on
some
Canva.
flyers.
Door knocking, and it has an incentive because it's your door knocking. You're also exercising.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you'll lose weight.
It's true. Why do we always promote restaurants, right? When we
You
go,
do.
we go to a club. They got
Yeah, you've been to
chicks
this-
there, and the chicks
yeah.
have number the dudes and this and that. Or, dude, the drinks are good there and this and that. We promote restaurants and everything because it hits your, what is it called? Your endorphin,
endorphin, yeah.
Your dopamine. Your dopamine. You're like, oh man, yeah, man, let me promote it. So why don't you dopamine what the business you provide, the service you provide, right? And go tell, man, I don't know how you're gonna say this, but man, I'm badass. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, dude, I can make things happen for you because we do get off market properties. Honestly, you guys haven't had a chance to try it another office, but if you were to see that, you would only know one thing in real estate: sell and buy. Sell and buy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to a full service, sell, buy, and loans. So with us, sell, buy, loans, save a home, fix credit,
Mm-hmm.
podcast. Well, we got like, I don't know.
It
a
comes
lot
in
of
hands,
different
knowing
things,
all
you
the
know?
different
Oh,
avenues
yeah.
that we
Yeah.
can say.
Oh,
But when it
yeah.
comes to critical thinking,
Getting
for
grants.
foreclosures, you're able to
Yes.
see like what can
Yeah, I can
be more suitable for your client.
Yeah, you're well rounded.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people hesitate to learn, but I think it's knowledge is power. So the more you know, the
Yeah.
better the client
Mhm.
is. More, it's going to rely on you, and you know you're the expert.
Yeah.
Hesitating to learn a subject, that's where dumb kicks in, right? I don't
Right.
think anybody's dumb. I think people are lazy.
Lazy.
Lazy for the subject. And then people know it as AKA being dumb. But I think we all are capable of being very smart. You know what I mean? So if the subject is interesting, why not? Go for it.
Yeah. People probably look at like real estate and they just read a couple questions or a couple things and they're like, oh, this is French to me. But you'd be surprised how much you can learn in a year,
Mhm.
year and a half. It's crazy how much we've learned with the training from you guys. Appreciate you guys.
But he hasn't even been a year.
Has-
No,
no, it hasn't. Wow.
he hasn't.
Well,
I
no,
feel
but
like I've
in his defense, in real estate, 1 minute
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
is 1 hour. 1 hour
Yeah.
is 1 day. 1 day is 1 week.
I feel
1
like
week
it-
is 1 month. 1 month is a year.
Yeah, I feel like I have the
That's
knowledge
true.
of a 10-year seasoned agent. For real.
Time is like of the essence in real estate. 1 day that you lost, you're like, damn, to the person on the other side.
Because
it's like,
anyone else can just pick that lead up or pick.
oh my God,
like,
yes.
Like
Like
crazy.
you missed that call, you missed that offer on the property
And
by
then today,
waiting till the
when
next
we
day.
Oh,
came
that's
to the
happening.
show, and there was already another agent there.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, some agents are sharks, and or they're hawks, and they're watching everything, right? And the fortunate part about it is that we're strong enough to compete, right? We're strong. We're not going to put anyone else down. I'm not going to be forward telling the consumer that Chevy sucks, or
Mhm.
vice versa. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just throwing that as an example. I'm not going to go, defame somebody else or another agent, but I'm going to tell them why I'm different. Because being different stands out. and being different in favor, not against. You know what I mean? Because there's two type of hustlers. You guys already know. I always say it: the one that hustles you, and the one that always hustles. Do you understand? Always looking for business. But any pointers you guys want to give before?
Yes. So when you're cold calling or marketing, you have to see it as they're getting a service that you are providing. So a lot of the times there's hesitation of cold calling because you don't know what to say, but just know that you're very knowledgeable and you're providing a service that they need. Because I used to struggle with that before because I was in the medical field and I thought that real estate was sales, but it's really not, because you're actually helping someone purchase a home. They're investing all their life savings into that home, and you're making their dream come true. So you have to kind of change your mindset.
Like your perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're cold calling or when you're helping
They
someone.
need your help.
They need your help, and you're providing
Think of
that
it as
service.
like you're calling to help them,
Yes.
not to sell
Right.
it.
Yes, that's very important. And then
Yeah.
the buyer or the client is going to appreciate it, and they're going to see that, and they're going to work with you, and they're going to be faithful to you. Because a lot of the times there's other agents that are going to try to steal your clients, but as long as you're honest and you're working with your heart, they're going to see that.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue working with you.
That's true. They'll see that you have their best interest in that. You know what I mean? So, X, pointers?
So when it comes to getting your real estate license, I would just say stay focused. Find out, do a lot of research. Find out what brokerage you want to hang your license with.
GFI?
Of course, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
IHR says GFI, and then just stay focused. Hopefully, you guys look at the resources we gave you guys, and good luck.
Ralphie!
A pointer I would give is don't be scared to door knock at all. Get over that fear. And if you're shy, it's okay. I'm shy too as well. But I got a listing of door knocking, so
That's right.
that changed my perspective on it.
Not only that, but once you door knock in one home and you struggle with it, when you door knock the next door, then you're able to kind of rebuttal, or like, if, for instance, any questions that the previous homeowner or tenant, you know how to answer the next door. So see it as practice until you become comfortable doing it.
Correct. And always stay eager to learn. Like, you may think you know everything, but you don't.
Yeah.
Every scenario that you encounter is going to be different. You're always going to find something new about it. Instead of stressing about what you don't know, just write down what you don't know and go through your notes.
Yeah, I would say, just like with the door knocking thing, don't be scared to cold call. Because I remember my first cold call was a train wreck. But after you get through that first one, like Yvonne said about door knocking, you take mental notes of how to just reply to the clients with their questions. You just understand how to respond. And then one call after the other, it just gets better and better.
Like, shout out to Maxine for putting you in that situation.
Oh yeah, she did that to me too that day.
That was awful.
That was funny.
Alexis?
I'd say stay motivated, because you can get down and like kind of think about giving in so easily, because I feel like this industry really does put you in that situation where you really have to like find yourself and like hold your ground.
That's right.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, you can't hurt me, I do real estate? My plans have been hurt already.
That's crazy. So in closing, when I hit a certain age in life, I realized that, once I hit 40, I was thinking, man, I'm like more than half past my life, right? And I'm like, I got to make the best of the remaining years of my life, right? And because you guys are young, all of us, I think we're all young. Age is just a number, it's how you feel inside. You take care of yourself. But I think that you get to a point in life where you just don't care and you go for it all, right? You have one life. This is borrowed. It's temporary, right? But make the best out of every minute. We sleep 6, 7 hours. Maybe some of you guys sleep 8. I think if you're sleeping over 7, you're wasting time. But in anything you do, always find a positive. I think earlier today the internet was down, so I grabbed my book real quick and I read a page, right? And so in anything we can do, not just reading. I mean, you can help someone by crossing the street with them. You can make money all the time. I know how to make money on money, right? Because a lot of people wonder how I make $1 turn into 100, right? And that's a whole different podcast.
Not the 50 cents.
The 50 cents, it's a whole different podcast. But we can make money on everything. But it's not all about money. Realistically, it's about making the best out of every minute of your life and helping those that you share this world with. We're all neighbors. We're all brothers and sisters. and we all live and die by the same rules. So in anything you do, whether it's real estate or not, always give it 110%. Never look back. And in the words of Kobe Bryant, practice makes perfect. And anything you do, continue to practice. Eventually, you will perfect it, okay? And with that being said, we are
Out.
CreasXgfi. Thank you for tuning in and listening to us. We're excited to be here each and every week. Continue to listen to us, and please share our podcast, help us grow, and in return, we'll give you educational stuff that'll help you.
And
grow.
if you have any topics that you would like us to discuss, feel free to comment down below.
We'll mention your name and the subject.
We'll give you a shout out.
Ruben, I'm out.
Yvonne.
Hector.
Ralph.
Kirsten.
Lex.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.